Hello everybody, welcome back. I am the Chornik, and this is my Pokemon Anime Theory series. And in this episode, we're going to predict Ash's Kalos team. Yes, I am kind of late on this, and it took me a while to do. I've been asked to do this multiple times, and finally, I'm getting around to it. So here we go, my predictions for Ash's Kalos team. Now, of course, Pokemon he's bringing with him was Pikachu, and Pikachu's obviously going to be used majorly throughout the events here in Kalos. And this is, Ash always brings Pikachu to all the regions with him, so obviously Pikachu will forever be on Ash's team, will never be really subbed out for any other Pokemon. And Pikachu, I could say, would, I hope, give more story to Pikachu. Actually, I know Pikachu has had a lot of screen time, but I hope Pikachu shows and flexes his strength more within this series. I hope he has a lot more, showing that he's just overpowered and everything. I actually like the fact that he is by now, and I hope that they continue with that idea and keep him at that kind of stage, and show him as Pokemon that Ash uses in big huge moments, like he did with against Mega Lucario, and using Pikachu to destroy Mega Lucario in that badge. So obviously I'm glad that he's having Pikachu still having that overpowered kind of look to him. But anyway, next Pokemon Ash got was Froakie. Now Froakie pretty much just caught himself into Ash's Pokeball. Came along with Ash's journey after Ash, saved a Garchomp on top of a prison tower, and Froakie just kind of came along with him, and Ash befriended him this way, and Froakie saved Pikachu, and Froakie has done pretty well, and Froakie seems pretty confident in his fighting and all of that, and I believe Froakie one day will eventually evolve all the way to a fully evolved Greninja. So hopefully that becomes something that happens, so I hope that does happen. Hopefully we'll see Greninja in the future. Alright, the next Pokemon I believe will, well actually not believe, but I know, is Fletchling, Fletchinder, and Talonflame. I believe that Talonflame will eventually come up, as Ash usually catches all the starter birds and evolves them fully, so he will not stop here at Fletchinder, and he will eventually get to Talonflame. I love how this bird has a lot more, respect compared to the other birds, and had more screen time, and especially how can you forget about that unforgettable, evolution with the fire surrounding Fletchling, which he eventually evolved into Fletchinder. How could we forget that? And this bird has been has gotten a whole lot more love, especially with all the wins and all that. So I'm glad that this bird is getting more respect and more screen time as it deserved. Alright, the next Pokemon that Ash got by now, you guys should know, is Hawlucha. Now, Hawlucha was a big surprise to many people, but it wasn't really a big surprise to me. I actually predicted that Hawlucha would be Ash's fighting type Pokemon. You would catch Hawlucha, and Hawlucha has done very, very well. And Hawlucha has his own personality and everything, and I love about him. So I love how they had Hawlucha as Ash's Pokemon. Hawlucha just being some major masked wrestler kind of guy, and this kind of shuts out the idea a lot of people had about Ash having a Lucario. So I doubt Ash will have a Lucario in the future, and this is Ash's fighting type Pokemon that he'll stick with. Hawlucha, I believe, will stick with Ash through the entire season, and probably all the way up to the Kalos League. So that is for Hawlucha. Now, next Pokemon is now a prediction, in which now from here on out are predictions now and are not confirmed. This next Pokemon is Goomy, and now Ash hasn't had many Dragon type Pokemon, so I believe Goomy could be a possibility. Plus, a lot of people would really like Goomy to be the next Pokemon that Ash could have. And plus, there's an episode coming up very shortly in which there was a preview in which Goomy fell on Ash's head. So who knows? I mean, Goomy could actually become part of Ash's team. However, I don't think Gumi will evolve fully into Gudra, the fully evolved dragon Gooey Pokemon. I believe it will just stay here at Gumi, which I am perfectly fine with that, because it kind of does get a little uglier as it grows up. Just my opinion. But you can see here that, yeah, I feel like he'll just stay at Gumi, and that people would love him to just stay at Gumi. So, anyway, next Pokemon I'm going to talk about is, I believe Ash will get an Ice-type Pokemon. So either he will get Amora, or he will get Bergmite as his next Pokemon. And I know we already had an episode with Amora and Aurorus together in one episode in which Ash saved Amora along with Amoris, helping Ash in the kind of the reunited thing. And so this kind of questions whether, you know, Amora would appear later on, but who knows, this could definitely be an option for Ash, because I heavily believe that he should get an Ice-type soon, because he has not had many Ice-type Pokemon, and he hasn't had one for a while. So I believe Amora or Bergmite should definitely be in question. Also with Bergmite, I believe will eventually evolve to Avalugg, I think that's how to pronounce it, and because these Pokemon have not shown up yet in the anime, so I believe that this is probably a little bit more likely choice if they do show up later. So hopefully Ash does catch either Amora or Bergmite and then fully evolves them to Aurorus or Avalugg. Anyway, alright, my next prediction for Ash's team is probably a fairy type Pokemon. So to promote the fairy type Pokemon and to showcase it, I believe that Ash should or would get a fairy type Pokemon, even though Bonnie seems to be the the representative of that, and she seems to be the fairy type Pokemon trainer, or future Pokemon fairy type trainer. So because she already has like that Dedenne that Clement pretty much gave her, and then she has some history with other fairy type Pokemon such as Flabebe. So I kind of feel that it will just stick to Bonnie. But for Ash, I believe the 3 Pokemon I believe he could have is either Swirlix, Jigglypuff, or Clefairy. So just think about that for a moment. Yes, Swirlix, Jigglypuff, or Clefairy. Swirlix, in my opinion, is the only Pokemon out of the new Kalos fairy type Pokemon that I believe he would have, but he would not evolve Swirlix at all because you have to trade it, I believe, to evolve it. And Jigglypuff, there is a lot of history with Jigglypuff, like back in the olden days, the old original series, and I've always actually, repeatedly, we saw Jigglypuff show up in episode after episode and sang its song and made everyone fall asleep. I thought eventually Ash would catch this Jigglypuff. I've always had a hope for Ash to catch this Jigglypuff, so maybe Ash would catch, maybe not this one, but a Jigglypuff in the future for his fairy type Pokemon. And finally, we have Clefairy. Now, the reason I say Clefairy is because Ash originally was supposed to have Clefairy as his first Pokemon, but they switched it to Pikachu, kind of, at the last second. But considering this, I believe Clefairy could be a very, very possible choice for Ash's fairy type Pokemon. So Ash would actually eventually do have Clefairy. Alright, the next Pokemon I will predict here is probably Litleo, eventually to Pyroar. And the reason I say this is because I saw one picture of Litleo within this, that soccer group, when it was kind of promoting Pokemon through the World Cup and all that. And I believe that Litleo could be possibly, Ash's Pokemon, because we also saw Pancham, which became Serena's Pokemon, and it shows all of their Pokemon in Meowth. So I'm feeling that Litleo would eventually become part of Ash's team as well. So maybe it could evolve from Litleo to Pyroar. However, we do already have that kind of fire type Pokemon. But anywho, maybe we can actually see this Litleo in the anime later on. Alright, the next Pokemon, and probably the last prediction I'll have, is Honedge. Yes, Honedge. Now this is just a personal prediction and personal kind of want for Ash. In my opinion, I believe he should get a Honedge, eventually evolve it to a duo, and then the dual swords, and eventually to the Agus stage. Now, this Pokemon, I believe Ash should have. This Pokemon is both a Steel and Ghost type, and Ash has not had a good Steel / Ghost type or Ghost type for a while, and I believe he should have this Honedge, and I believe it will be an awesome, cool little addition to Ash's team, and eventually could evolve to its final form, and hopefully we can see this Pokemon happen later on. But I hope this is a personal prediction of mine. I believe that Ash eventually get him, eventually get a Dusk Stone, and eventually evolve him fully. And I believe this will be a major, role-playing Pokemon for this anime. This is just a personal prediction of mine. Alright, the final thing I'm going to talk about is the Mega Evolutions. And yes, I did go over a video about who I predict the Mega Evolution would be, so go check that video out. But I believe it could either be Charizard or Sceptile. Those are probably the biggest choices. However, I feel like Charizard would actually take the stage because it is rumored that Serena is actually going to get a Trico. So I don't think, Ash will bring back Sceptile when, Trico is part of the same family. So I believe he will actually stick with Charizard. But, we could also have Heracross appear. But I believe that Charizard is probably just going to be the most likely choice for this. So, so pretty much, if you guys haven't seen my Mega Evolution video, go watch that, and you could see more in depth of who I think will happen to be Ash's next Mega Evolution. So thanks guys for watching my video. Please comment and post your ideas below. Who do you think will be Ash's Pokemon in the near future? Later on, who do you think will be his Kalos Pokemon? I know that some of the Pokemon in this thing, which I predicted, weren't really Kalos Pokemon, but it's just a possibility that it catches these Pokemon later on. Maybe, I know they're not Kalos Pokemon, but they're just predictions about perhaps maybe not now, but later on. So thanks guys for watching my video. Please post your comments and ideas below, again, as I said before, and post your predictions who Ash will get in the future. Do you like my predictions or ideas? Please watch my other videos about the Pokemon anime. Please go watch my Serena team predictions. Maybe I'll make a Clement one later, depends. But anyway guys, see you guys all later. Thanks for watching, and peace off. Thank you very much.